Looks like I'm live. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me here on day 9 of the live training, day 9 of the 14-day Double Your Tribe challenge. I'm so pleased to have you. If you're watching the replay, then let me know in the comments around the video so that I know that you have watched the training, so that I know you're on track. So you know you're on track. You'll be able to go through and see easily which videos you've watched, which ones you've missed, if you actually comment on them, because obviously the ones you haven't commented on, you haven't watched. So let me know how your day has gone. I'm just going to make sure that I've got my comments up on my phone, on my screen, so that I can see. Craig says, Yahoo! Hi, Craig. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good after being in hospital the other day. So if you guys are struggling with anything during the time of this challenge, then let me know and we can help as much as we can. So how is your day going? Let me know in the comments. What I'm going to do is just bring up my training notes for this session. I've been down at the beach with my little boy. I picked him up from school. Actually, I helped him do some gardening at school. So he's 3.5 and they do gardening at his school. So we were helping plant vegetables and herbs and things. And so I was there this afternoon, and then we went down to the beach afterwards because I live literally a mile from the beach. So we went down there and we walked across the beach down to the water, had a little paddle, and then came back home, which was amazing. I am so blessed. I love my life so much. And so let me know what you guys have been up to today and how you love your life. And if you don't love your life, then this is the challenge to help you change that. Because if you grow your audience, if you grow your followers, if you grow your group numbers, if you can grow your engagement, then you will inevitably sell more stuff, because you are going to know what people want and you'll be able to sell it to them. And then when you sell more stuff, you will be able to have the life that you want. And because you are more in tune with the people buying from you, whether they're clients, you call them customers, or you call them students, because you are going to be more tuned with them, you will have better relationships. And then you will just generally have a better life because you'll be more in touch with people around you. That's what I find anyway. So let's bring up my training today, which is all about tribes. Let's read some comments quickly. So Rosie says #live. Remember, guys, train your audience to say #live or #replay and to comment on your videos or comment on your posts, ask questions. So Craig says rehab is going well. Thanks for asking. And Rosie says, which school did I pick in the end? Stubborn based. If Caspian stays in school, then he will stay at West Hill, which is a really nice prep school near me, private school. I'm not sure what you call them in America. So we have state schools which are run by and funded by the state by taxes, and then private schools which are funded privately by a private individual, i.e. by parents. So Caspian is in a private school. In a really nice private school, which happens to actually be the closest school to me. It's like a 5-7 minute walk from my house, but it's really, really lovely. There are quite a few celebrities who go there, but it's just a really lovely school, and they're near us, so that's probably where he's going if he stays in school, because I'm a little bit in two minds about school, because school pins you down. It suppresses your creativity and your freedom. Most entrepreneurs do not like school, and they don't do well in school. And that's the thing. I don't want Caspian to grow up in a world where he is told that he has to ask for permission to do anything. I want him to know that he can do and achieve anything that he wants in life. So, but I know that that's not for everyone. I don't want to get into a parenting debate. But yes, so Rosie said that she looked there before the holidays. So yes, you shall definitely have to tell me. If you don't know, Rosie lives near me. You don't know this. Rosie lives near me. A small world. But yes, so Craig says he started sorting out his Facebook pixel after yesterday's session, but not quite there yet. Let me know, Craig, what you were trying to do with your pixel. Put it on your in your funnel, maybe, something like that. If so, what I will do is after this session, I will just post a screenshot of where you need to put your funnel code. It's literally, if it's in ClickFunnels, literally in the overall head section. So this is the same for me lead pages. I just know exactly where it is in ClickFunnels because that's what I do. I build funnels. But there's a section where you can put code that's for like every single page. And that goes in the header. And that's where you put the main pixel code. So when you first go to install your pixel through like from Facebook, so you go into your paid ads manager, your business manager, and you click setup. when you first go into the Pixel. Then the main code you get there, that's what you put in the head of every single page. And then you put specific standard event code into individual pages, depending on what you want the Pixel to interpret when it's on that page. And in ClickFunnels, you actually, and most other things, you'll have more success with the Facebook Pixel if you put the actual code in the body. Now, if you look at most things, they either give you the choice of putting the code into the header or to the footer. You're going to be better off putting things in the footer when it's standard event code, because then that event code is only going to load when the whole page loads. So what you're not going to get is the event code triggering when somebody clicks to the page but doesn't actually ever look at the page, because there are people out there who are habitual link clickers and then will never look at the page, and you want to try and filter out those people. So the way to do that is to put the code as Facebook says, but to put the code in the body. But because most of us are looking at it and saying, oh, well, there's no body section, there's header or footer, most people just put it in the header. But when you do that, you're going to train the algorithm to be okay with looking for people that are those people who click on links but never go to the page. You would rather have somebody who actually allows the page to load. And it doesn't mean that they get down to the footer. It just means that the footer code, the technical word is passed, but all that means is that the footer code is loaded by whatever. So when they're there, it just means that they've loaded the page. So try and put in your code into the footer section or the body section if you've got that chance, but most things will only allow you for header or footer. Go for the footer on the standard event code. So that's things like view content. Always have view content on your sales pages. So the actual thing that's trying to sell something, whether it's selling someone into an opt-in or whatever, the view content is what I would put on pretty much most pages. If you have an email opt-in but they haven't bought, I personally put complete registration because they've registered. Or if you have a webinar opt-in and they've given their email address, I put complete registration. And then if they've actually bought something, I would then put the purchase standard event code. And you are better off using standard events if you can get your head around it than trying to do custom conversions every time. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about, please don't worry. This is just about Facebook ad pixel code. But literally just put your pixels code on every single landing page that you possibly can do. And when I say landing page, I just mean every single web page, because then any time anybody visits one of your web pages, then your Facebook pixel will fire, and then you can then retarget them. And you know they're already interested in your stuff. It's just like when somebody goes to your page on Facebook, you know they're interested in your stuff. When they opt in, you know they're interested in your stuff. And you want to try and build as many audiences, or just really just think about it as trying to get as many people that are raising their hands to say, yes, I'm interested in whatever Rosie is talking about, whatever Craig is talking about. If you're on live, then you would get your name shouted out. So join me live. It's not like I don't give you like the chance to be here. So yeah, so yes, good, awesome. Craig says that he's going to after the session. Yes, after the session today, you're going to go and sort out your code. Okay, so to get on to today's training, that's a little side avenue there, just about pixel stuff. And I will put as I said, an image up to show you where you can put that code in your ClickFunnels account if you are using ClickFunnels already, or you've decided to use the templates that I give you so that you can really easily, in like 5 minutes or less, put up a landing page to get email addresses, which is what you should be doing. So tribes, what do I mean? Tribes. If you think about, let's go back to the school thing. Okay, so if you think about when you were at school, you hung around with the people that you found had similarities to you, people that you felt comfortable with, whether you were a goth or an emo, and you wore dark stuff all the time, then you hung around with the other goths. If you were really into sports, you hung around with the sports people. If you played a team sport, you hung around with people that played team sports. If you were a nerd, and you went to a school where nerds were a thing, then you hung around with the nerdy people, the chess club, whatever. So people tend to gravitate, because we are a tribal people. We are still, our brains still operate as though we are out on the savannah and literally in tribes, in villages, okay? So we want to feel like we are part of a tribe, because if we are part of the tribe, we feel safe. That's how our brain works. So even on the internet, this still happens, and almost on a larger scale, because whereas in the past, pre the dawn of the internet, you were literally limited to, I'm looking out the window here, limited to how many people lived in your actual village. So let's go back pre-trains. You were limited by who was in your village. Those were the people that you could choose from of who you wanted to form your mini tribe with. Then the trains came about, and suddenly, you know, you could get other places. So you could then go to a city and you had more people. Now with the dawn of the internet, you can form tribes of people no matter where in the world they are. And that's the amazing thing about Facebook, is the fact that everybody is on Facebook. So what happens? Groups came about, and therefore groups tended to form where people had some common interest, whether it was about a sport. There are parenting groups, there are specific, if you think about it, these sub niche, the micro niche groups for parents. So if we talked about parenting, you might have there were ones about breastfeeding. When I was a new mum, there were definite breastfeeding ones. There were ones about baby wearing. There are parenting groups where they like a specific type of baby wrap. I belong to groups on Facebook that are for a specific brand of baby wrap. And when I talk about wrapping, I mean like as in tying babies up in material. And we used to spend like £300 or £400 on a baby wrap. And some of us have tons of these things. And then we found other people who also have this obsession with buying baby wraps. And so we formed groups. And then even worse. So you've got the group of the brand. And then there were subgroups, which were their own individual groups to do with colors, to do with themes, whether they were, so on these baby wraps, there would be, some were animal kind of pictures. They're all patterns, and they're all made in Scotland. They're amazing, these things, but there'd be patterns. And so some of them, if you really liked the heavens, so were the clouds or stars, then there was a group specifically for that. There were groups specifically for a particular wrap that came out that was like the hardest to get a hold of one. I've still got mine. I'm keeping it probably forever. But like it was a specific colorway of a specific pattern, and there was a group for that. When they had a Lord of the Rings edition, they kind of had lots of different weaves and patterns for that, like an official Lord of the Rings kind of I can't remember what the word is, but when the wrap brand partnered with Lord of the Rings whatever, then they had groups about those Lord of the Ring wraps. Okay, so Rosie says you didn't realize there were so many baby wearing groups. Oh my gosh, these are just like sub micro niches of a particular brand of baby wrap. Now if you think that you can get a few hundred people, and all of these groups had a few hundred people because they were picking from all over the world, and not everybody knew there were these specific groups per type of pattern, per brand of baby wrap, then just think what's possible for your particular niche. So the thing that you do, and let me know in the comments around the video, what is it that you do? Okay, what is the result that you get for people? What is it that you sell? There will be tons of groups on Facebook already where the kind of person that you sell is hanging out. They are already on Facebook in groups interacting. And this is what I mean when I talk about tribes. So what you need to do is go out and find those groups. Now, there are several ways to go and find the groups. The first thing you can do is have a look and see who are the people that have already got, and I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow, but who are the people that have already got your people in their audience. Interestingly, Russell Brunson, owner of ClickFunnels, world's best marketer probably, he talked about the fact that he went to a Puerto Rican mastermind recently with some big names, Dean Graziosi, Brennan Burchard, Jenna Kutcher, who else was there, and then Rachel Hollis, who is or was the #2 best-selling female author last year in America with her Girl Wash Your Face book, which was just like a massive book. And her way of getting her reach out there was to go, and she's literally said who were the people who already had her perfect reader in their audience, and then she said she infiltrated them. Interestingly, I've got a course called FB Infiltration Secrets, because that's what you do, you infiltrate into people's audiences. So who are the people that are running groups And you might go and find your ideal person, your ideal influencer, and they might not be running a group, but there are lots of people who are running groups. Even if you think about, there's a ClickFunnels group, there's a group for lead pages, there's a group for ConvertKit. Pat Flynn has got a group, Amy Porterfield has got a group, James Wedmore's got a group. Everybody's got a group. Okay, so who are the people that have got those groups where your ideal customer is hanging out already? So that's one way of finding groups. Another way is to literally just do keyword searches. So I created a messenger bot reminder system for people last week, which I was the week before, which I launched and released to and like beta tested with my first challengers. And what I did is got them to think about what are the keywords that they are targeting. Okay, and so what I mean by that is when you look at your niche, and let's see if you've put any in around the video, let me know what your niche is so that I can apply what I'm talking about to you to give you the most help possible. Craig says loving the sauna analogies, and then my eyes are even worse. Susanna, you're here. Yay, hello, awesome. Okay, so right, so yes, so what are the keywords that your ideal, and there's two ways to think about this, right? So one, what's your niche? So for me, Facebook, growing your audience, getting more engagement, Facebook Live, all those kinds of things would be keywords that I know I can search for on Facebook or Google, but Facebook, and it will bring back people who are talking about those things. So I know, because I do a lot of customer research, and you should be doing too, but you can do this in groups, is I know that people are looking for, how can I grow my group? How can I get more engagement? How can I get more viewers on my videos? How do I do live video? How do I build my audience? How do I get more page likes? How do I grow my followers? So those are all the kinds of search terms that people are looking for when they have questions about growing their audience on Facebook. And why are they doing that? Because they want to make more sales, but they're not typing in, how do I make more sales? That's too broad. What they are doing is thinking, how do I grow my audience on Facebook? And so what then are the actual search terms that people are searching for when they are on Facebook? And they might not be searching in the way that you're thinking that people do when they're on Google. When they're on Google, they're looking for a specific answer to a question. And you can, the old school way of, and it still works, of SEO is and that's search engine optimization, which is basically trying to get your website to appear when someone types in a search question on Google. And the same happens on YouTube as well. YouTube is just a giant search engine. Now, most people aren't yet using Facebook in the same way, but what they are doing is they are putting up posts about this. And if you are in the groups of your ideal customer, then you will see the words that they are using when they're putting their posts out there for help. They need some help. Okay, so they ask questions, or in the comments, what are the words that they are using? Okay, so those become your search terms and your keywords that you want to be mindful of all of the time when you are doing your posting, because you want to use those search terms and those keywords and those phrases. You want to use it in your copy, on your sales pages, on your landing pages, in the titles for your posts, for your videos, okay? You want your ideal customer to go, oh my gosh, it's like you're reading my mind. That's exactly what I was wondering about, okay? And so think about, go and do some research and find out what are those keywords that people are searching for. And then you can use Facebook like a search engine, because it is a search engine at the end of the day. It is still a search engine. So what I suggest you do is you go into the search bar, not now, when I finished. You go into the search bar at the top of Facebook and you type in a few of the keywords. Now you're going to have to play around with this to see what comes up. But what you'll find is, so Facebook gives you some options down on the left-hand side. If you're on desktop, it's kind of easier on desktop, but you can do it on mobile too. And it lets you know whether it asks you, do you want to look for posts from your friends, from you, in groups that you belong to, blah, 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 public posts. Okay, so you then can narrow down into the groups that you're a member of. Okay, but if you aren't there yet of having joined any groups, I know you have joined groups because everybody's in groups, but if you haven't joined any groups, or you're not in all of the groups that your ideal customer is in, what you can do is you can just look for those search terms and see which groups come up, because some people are clever when they create their groups and they put those keywords into their name or the description, which means that they're going to be brought up when they are searched for on Facebook. And you can be clever too, and you can do this. This is a really amazing group building tactic, is to put the keywords that your ideal customer is searching for when they're looking for something on Facebook. Okay, so you can use groups and keywords to find, so you can use keywords to find groups. And you can also use groups to find what those keywords should be. So the two things I've mentioned so far are going and finding the groups that belong to the influencers that you know have got your ideal customer in their audience. And then number two, using keywords to search for groups that would potentially have your ideal customer. And you're going to have to go try a few, join a load, see what happens, because some groups you'll find are actually pretty active. Some groups aren't. Even groups of massive people sometimes are a bit like the only person posting is the group owner. And to be perfectly honest and transparent, right now my free group is like that, because I'm putting so much of my time and effort into my challenge and you guys. I have not done my duty and looked after my free group. So my free group's a bit of a like a graveyard, they call it. Tumbleweed is blowing across. Most groups online are like that, but you'll find a few that are really good, they've got people posting all of the time. So go and find those groups and join those groups, because then you can make connections with people who would be your ideal client. Now, I'm not saying go spam them straight off the bat, but what you can do is put your really valuable posts into those groups. People will notice you. Use your image of you in those things. Most groups don't like you doing live video, but some do. And the ones that do are amazing, because people will watch your live videos. So go into those groups, start making friends with people. Go and find out who are the top contributors in those groups, and you'll notice them. If you go and observe for a while, you'll see the people who are first of all posting quite a bit, but also their posts get engagement. Some people post all the time and nobody pays any attention. Go and find the people whose posts are getting attention and who are you'd say like the popular kid, because I'm going to use the school analogy still. Who are the jocks and who are the prom queens in those groups? Go and make friends with those people, as in send a friend request. Also comment on their posts, try and add value, make friends with people, because at the end of the day, it is about making relationships. When you are friends with people in groups, when you then post in that group, if somebody else is friends with one of those people in that group, your post will then be shown in their newsfeed, even if you aren't connected, because Facebook likes to try and spiderweb everybody together. So you do need to make friends with people. I had a question recently about whether or not you should be sending friend requests out. Now, I am a big advocate of sending out lots of friend requests. Not everyone's going to say yes. I have outstanding at the moment over 1,124 or something like that. I haven't checked today. I've got over 1,000 outstanding friend requests, and I'm still pretty small. Okay, so you can imagine that some people have got maybe tens of thousands, I don't know what Facebook limits you at, outstanding friend requests, because when you start to get going, you'll max out at 5,000 really quickly, which is why you need to have your profile funnel set up to get everyone from your profile into your page, because you are going to run out of space. If you are thinking of just using your profile, you are thinking too small. You are going to run out of space. Okay, so we have our profile set up to get everybody through to our page, but we still have to use our profile in the first instant to start getting people into our funnel. So start making friend requests. Don't be afraid or bothered by people who send you a page like message when you've accepted their friend request, or vice versa, because there's auto software out there, and I use it. There's a Chrome plugin that will send page like requests to your friend list, because you can do it, because Facebook encourage you to do it. It pops up, invite your friends to like your page. Okay, so Facebook wants you to invite your friends to like your page, and there are things that will do that automatically for you, and I use them as well, because you don't want to be sending 5,000 page invite requests. So don't be bothered when people send you those, because it's probably not them and they're not spamming you. They're just trying to get you through their profile funnel, just like you are. Okay, so I've had this from somebody recently, and I just thought everybody's got to sell, because we've all got really great stuff, so don't be offended by it. So yes, that hopefully is helpful. Hi, Gregory, you're joining live. Hello, I'm pleased to have you here. Let me know how your day has been. Susanna says, poor little free group. Yes, I know, sad. And I'm bringing somebody on board to actually help me manage that. So because running groups is not easy. Don't for a second think it's really easy. It's not free money. There are lots of people go, oh, I've got a group and it just brings me money on like autopilot. Yes, but you have to be in there giving tons of value and creating engagement until then naturally the engagement comes from other people, and it takes time and effort to do that. So if you can get other people to help you, then do it, because it will really, really help. It's quite funny. I had there's a guy who started the biggest business. It's possibly not as big as BNI, I'm not sure, but he basically went to a BNI networking meeting. They have those all over the world where you've literally got one person per industry in a room, and there's lockdown and it's all a bit stuffy and I hate them. Anyway, so the guy that I know went to one of those about 15 years ago, got told that he couldn't join because he was the same industry as somebody else. So then he started his own networking organization in the UK, and anybody, anywhere can go. There's no lockout, there's nothing like that. It's literally just one like great big, almost free for all, but then you get lots of collaborations, which is really awesome and much more the way that I work. And I ended up running like the South the south of England, kind of there's a like South Central area of those networking meetings. But anyway, so Brad was telling me that when he, Brad Burton is the founder of that company, when he started a Facebook, not Facebook, his website forum, this is pre-Facebook, having groups, pre-Facebook being a thing. When he started his forum, he actually had like 3 or 4 accounts under different names, so that he was on his forum asking a question and then going in and answering his question, just to try and make it seem like there were people in the group who were giving value, so that other people would then get involved. And you know, you've got to do that, although you can't have multiple personal profile accounts in Facebook, but you've got to do that. Go and find some people to join your group if you're running a group, who will, give value and interact, because that's the thing that then almost builds that momentum. It's the tipping point. You've got to really, really nurture the relationships until you get to the tipping point of enough other people being in there, getting value, and then they'll contribute. So go find your mega fans and get those people into your group as soon as possible. So Gregory asks me, what am I calling the Facebook profile funnel? So Gregory, if you go back to day 1, we talked about building your Facebook profile funnel, and you're going to have to go back to the beginning of the units and go and watch that. If you want to watch it on 2 times speed, then do, but bear in mind, I do talk fast, but you need to build out your Facebook profile funnel, because what you need to do is have people that hit your profile when you're interacting on groups, when you're in this group, when you're in other groups, when you're posting in the MEC group, I see you in there posting. So when people find you in a group or wherever, however they find you on Facebook, and they click your face and they go to your profile, you want to try and get them into your page as soon as possible, because once they're in your page, you can then retarget them with ads if you ever want to do that. But you can also then get insight into the kind of people that you're attracting, so you know more about them, like their demographics, what time of day they're on Facebook, like all of that stuff. But until you've got them over through to your page, you will never have that information. And also at some point you're going to max out at 5,000 friends. And so if you're not utilizing your page, then you're playing small, because you're never going to have more than 5,000 potential customers. And also, of course, technically, it's against Facebook's terms of service to run your business from your profile. So you do need a page. You do need to be getting people through from your profile to your page to be playing by Facebook rules. It's what they want you to do. So why not do it? So go back and listen to the first training. Yes, that's the one. Okay, awesome. So let's make sure. So Craig says, that's how I'm getting lots of friend requests. I wasn't sure how it was happening. Makes sense now. Exactly. Okay. And you want to embrace the friend requests, because 2 things will happen. 1, obviously you're going to then get more customers, more prospects, more leads, because you're growing your audience. But also what you'll find is that you'll have more collaboration opportunities as well. So it's not just about the customers, it's also about learning from other people. And if you're friends on Facebook, then even if you've never met in real life, you can build some really amazing relationships and learn from other people from becoming friends with them. I say this, I have no shame, but I don't think you should have shame about this. I will friend request anyone. I have friend requested Russell Brunson probably 5 times, Amy Porterfield, Stu McLaren. I am friends with Rick Moretti, who is the Amy Porterfield's like favorite Facebook ads guy. He's got a massive business, multi-million-dollar business that teaches about Facebook ads. Who else? I'm friends with John Lee Dumas. He actually sent me a friend request. But I would say, like, just friend request with abandon, and friend request the kinds of people who you think might be good prospects, and not just to sell them, but to learn more about them. Because if you start conversations with these people, even if those people don't become your customers, and please don't start off with buy my thing, go check out my course, whatever, try and give some value first, but you can find out things about your ideal customer even if that person doesn't become your customer, because you can have conversations and you can follow them and see what kinds of things they're talking about when they're posting on Facebook, see what their problems are. And that's the amazing thing about Facebook. You can find out all of the customer market research that you want anytime ever for free on Facebook by looking at what people are talking about and hanging out in groups and seeing what they're talking about. I find it nuts that people pay for any kind of market research anymore because Facebook is here. So hopefully that is helpful for you guys. Gregory says, a wonderful accent. Thanks. I do talk quite fast, but hopefully not too fast. My tip is, if you think I talk too fast, number one, tell me. When I get excited, I talk even faster. While I know that I do have a good English accent, I do know I talk fast. So just let me know in the comments if I talk too fast and I will slow down. I will repeat something. Let me know. I am here to serve you. But also what you can do is, obviously, once I've finished, you can go back and listen again. But what you can also do is, if you're on a desktop, there's this amazing Chrome plugin. I love Chrome. Chrome plugin called Video Speed Controller. And you can slow people down and you can speed people up. It's amazing. I listen to most things on 2+ times speed. I can do me just about on 2 times speed. Most people I can do on 3, but you can play around with it. So if you need to slow down, you can. If you need to speed up, you can. And that's a really good way to catch up if you're a little bit behind. Gregory. Gregory asks, is it business suicide to unfriend someone who you find out you don't like as a Facebook friend? So are we thinking, so you don't like, so are you talking about, so say you friend requested somebody and they've accepted, and then you want to unfriend them on Facebook when you've decided after becoming friends with them that you're no longer aligned, shall we say? If that's what you're asking, then I don't think so. Most people won't ever check, if I'm honest. Most people don't spend their time checking to see if anybody's, like, you can't really see who's unfriended you unless you go to see them and you click on their profile and you see that you're no longer friends. I personally I like to keep my newsfeed filled with people who bring me positivity and joy and happiness. I did something, I don't often block people unless people are really rude to me, and then I do. And I do get some rude comments, like horrible, like disgusting, shall we say, comments on some of my videos from people who do not know me. And so I will block those people because I don't need them in my life and I don't need to see them. But there are also people who are the kinds of people who bring you down when you're trying to lift up. So there are positive people in the world who will lift you up. And there are types of people, average Joe, who when you do well, they will try and drag you back down because you're highlighting that they're not doing something, and it's nothing to do with you, it's all to do with them. And sometimes those people, I find them very negative on Facebook, and so I will unfriend them, and sometimes I will block them. And there was actually somebody in the 2 Comma Club X coaching that I'm in, which is a really expensive high-level coaching program to teach you all about online everything from ClickFunnels. And there was somebody in there who was quite rude to me, and yesterday, for the first time in probably a year, I blocked somebody because I just thought, you know what, I don't need to argue with you. We both have our separate opinions. that's okay. And then I blocked them, because I know that every time, because I do worry about, and I shouldn't, but I do worry about what people think about me. I know that if I see their posts and I see things, that I'll feel something that I don't want to feel. So therefore I just blocked them from my life. I wouldn't stress. Most people don't care. Most people don't notice. Unless you are talking every single day, then they might notice that you're not friends anymore. But you could always unfollow somebody if you want to, and that way you won't see their posts anymore. But you only have 5,000 friends, so you kind of need to use those 5,000 wisely. So I just do it. Worst, I mean, I've unfriended people and then refriended them again later on. So yeah, so don't stress about it. So just, yeah, I would just unfriend people if you don't want to, unless there's somebody that you know, I don't know, have a business relationship with, but then you probably want to talk to them first before unfriending them, maybe, unless they say, hey, is something wrong? We're not friends anymore. So Susanna asked about blocking people who make you feel weird. Yes, I would, because life's too short. You know, there are thousands of people out there who will want your help. So just don't worry about the people that don't, and don't worry about the people that you don't get along with. Like, there are people out there who need your help but don't want your help, that you have a different personality vibe to, a different energy vibration to, whatever. There was somebody in a networking group who blocked me a while back, and I only knew because somebody else had tagged me in a post, and I knew that there were comments, and I couldn't see those comments, so somebody must have blocked me. You know, it happens. So what? There are hundreds of thousands of people out there who will like you, if not thousands, if not hundreds, if not tens. There are people out there who will like you, so just get rid of the other ones. So yes, hopefully that is helpful to you. Susanna says she tried friend request Russell too. You are friends with Julie? Awesome. I'm not. She doesn't want me. Hey, different vibes, but I think she's amazing. But we definitely have a different vibe, Julie Stoyan and I. So I have all of her courses, but we definitely have a different vibe. We are two very, very different people. So yes, let me just make sure that I haven't missed any questions at all. I kind of got past the niche thing. So next time, answer faster, and I will be able to help you out with specifics. But I think that is all of the questions answered. Yes, people who notice, Craig says, the people who notice possibly have too much time on their hands or are wasting their time on the wrong things. Absolutely. And to be honest, you need to get rid of those kind of people from your life, because they are not going to help you grow your business. They will bring you down. And unfortunately, I've got an iPad underneath me making the light funny. Unfortunately, the people that want to bring you down, literally, like they will if you let them. So you need to almost curate your own newsfeed by getting rid of all the negative people and just keeping the positive people. That's how I feel with it. Yes, awesome. Okay, and Susanna says she got lucky with Julie. Hey, you didn't get lucky. You just gave her value. Like, you gave her value. I've posted loads in her group praising her podcast. It's one of the ways that I do the Dream 100 is to use Facebook to do it. And so, like, I just naturally share the things that I really love. And so therefore I share podcast episodes, podcasts, courses, everything that I really, really love. I'm like an affiliate marketer's dream. If you have an affiliate program, then like, you'd love me, because I just love sharing stuff, because I think it genuinely helps other people and I get excited. But it's not about getting lucky, Susanna. It's about the fact that you are really awesome, and you know, you've had some great experience with her, so therefore you posted about it, and therefore she accepted you. You know, it's value in both ways. So Craig says, great session again. You're gonna go straight back to the replay for the pixel stuff. Woohoo, awesome. And I will try and post, I'll see if I can find a little explainer for you. ClickFunnels have like so many helpful help documents. It's unreal, with little graphics, they're little GIFs of go to this section, go to this section. They're amazing. You just have to search for them on Google. So I'll go and find those for you. But that wraps up tribes for you. So you need to go and find your tribe. What are the tribes where your ideal customer is hanging out? Go and find those tribes. Go in there, start posting, give tons of value, friend request people with abandon, and then what will happen is people will start finding you, just like we talked about right in the first unit. People will start finding you through the groups, and they will come through your Facebook profile funnel, and your list will grow automatically because you're giving value. People will follow through and they will join your list. It just happens. So get out there, go find some groups, and I'm going to list a few that are really big, but you probably know them already. Go and find the specific niche groups for your niche. And then, if you need some help, then post in the group. When you find some that you really love, post in the group, just let us know so that we can go in there. And one thing that really, really helps is obviously if you see someone that you know that you like posting in a group, go and like the post, go and comment on the post, because it pushes that post up. So there used to be a thing called bumping. You could comment on a post and it would send it back to the top of the group. Now, that doesn't always work anymore, because inside groups, you actually now get the algorithm at play. So it shows you top posts, which means if you become a top poster, your posts go to the top. But you can help each other out by commenting on each other's posts within groups. Or if you want to get the attention of one of those influencers, then go and comment on their groups, help them out. Comment on their posts and help them out. I do this all the time. When I see my students, I'll go and give them emojis and some hearts and all that kind of stuff, because it just gives them almost some like Facebook algorithm juice. So go and help each other out. Let us know if you need some help. If you're in a group and you're posting and not getting any traction, let us know. We can come join, and at least I will come and join and give you a boost. So go and have an amazing day. Go and implement. Go and find some groups to join and start posting, give value. And I shall see you guys all same time tomorrow back here for the next installment, which is infiltration. See you guys soon.